All of us are worth far more than to have some beautiful person who has appointed themselves as a health expert to tell you how to live your life and what coffee you should drink and what cream you should put on your face and, what time you should wake up and go to bed and what? They don't know you. Hi, everyone. It's Dr. O'Brien. I know that I have disappeared for a while, and I had promised I was going to do videos more frequently, and I haven't done that. I've been busy being a mom, but my recent patients, my new patients who have come and found me for consultation, really have given me pause to stop and think about the role that I play today after being an integrative functional medicine doctor for over 10 years now. I've had my practice for over 10 years. And the landscape has changed. The demand has gone crazy high. And now it's almost every day in one of the moms groups or one of the community chats or on Nextdoor that someone is asking, where can I find a functional medicine doctor or a nutritionist? And certainly I don't know that there is enough supply to meet the demand. And the void that's been created by that has been filled by health influencers and people who want to tell you what's healthy for you and they don't know you. And I think that that's kind of a dangerous place. So let me stop and say this. The numbers, and I actually pulled them up to make sure that I'm not exaggerating or full of it. In the last 5 years alone, functional food and natural health products have gone from $25.3 billion to $34.7 billion. And if we get really specific and just talk about natural health supplements, that went from $58.3 billion in 2024 to $121.8 billion forecasted for 2034. So we're talking about an industry that has gone crazy in terms of demand. And I think with everything, when the demand goes crazy, the supply becomes a little bit suspect. So as a physician, it has also become a little bit unpopular to be a physician nowadays. I think the commentary that, we're all in Big Pharma's pocket and doctors don't care and they don't care if you get better or not. They want to keep you sick because they make money off of it. I just want to address that briefly because I don't know that the average person understands fully what you undertake to become a physician. I'm very biased about this. As a young woman, I did not go to college until I was much older. I started in community college. I went to undergraduate after a nursing program on scholarship, took student loans the entire way. I have been a physician for almost 20 years, and I still pay my student loans every month, and they are probably larger than most people's mortgage payments. I can assure you that none of us that did that did it to keep you sick. None of us want to go home and be like, oh yeah, I gave people a bunch of crap today and don't care. When we get a 4-year undergraduate degree, we then go to medical school for 4 years, and then we do a residency after that. That can go anywhere from 1 year to 5 as a surgeon, and then any specialization after the first 4, usually, or 5. There's another subspecialty that you do. The amount of work that goes into that and how exhausted you are and how many times you don't get to see your family. Certainly, both of my parents had cancer when I was in my medical training, and I missed a great deal of being a human being in order to take care of other human beings. And I still do that. It's a choice. And so I don't share this for your pity, oh, poor doctors. I say it so that you can understand that these are people just like you are. And they're stuck in a system that no longer allows for their autonomy or your autonomy. The rules are made by insurers because those that have insurance want to use it. Of course they do. It's either a benefit of their job or it's something that they pay through the nose for, and they want to use it. Well, when your insurance company says, yeah, we're not going to cover that, they don't consider that to be a hindrance to your ability to go get that treatment if you want it. They're just not going to pay for it. And so you and I know that if it's not covered by insurance, the likelihood that we're going to be able to pay for it might be really low. So, first thing, why do you want a physician? Why do you want one? Well, if you think that we're all in it, getting kickbacks from big pharma, I wish that I got a kickback from big pharma. I wish that was true because maybe my student loans would be paid. But the reality is that in order to actually kind of flourish in the Western medicine system, you have to be covered by insurance. And that means you have to play their game, which means seeing 20 to 60 patients a day. And you all know what kind of care you get in that system when there's that kind of pressure to pump out, right? Just produce next one, next one, next one. And if you don't see enough patients or you happen to order things that are not covered too frequently, they'll kick you off the panel. Not you, the patient, you, the physician. So now you're faced with, I guess we have to tell all of our United Healthcare patients that we can't see them anymore because we're not on their plan. Or the insurers will say, you know what? We've been paying for you to check vitamin D, and we've decided now that you probably you didn't need to do that. So we've paid about $23,000 for all of your patients to have gotten their vitamin D checked in the last so many years, and we're going to withhold that payment from you until you've paid us back. And I'm not joking that this happens. It happens. Insurers can decide that they're no longer going to cover certain things that they did pay for 5, 6, 7 years in a row, and now they're not going to. So sorry, Dr. So-and-so, when you submit for getting paid for seeing all your patients last week, you may not get paid because we're going to hold that money back. Why am I telling you all of this? Because my journey, as I have recognized it and reiterated it to myself, is I stand on an island in between the Western medicine system that is very medical, very evidence-based, very rigid in the standard of care and what is the thing that a reasonable physician would do, and the more holistic natural tribe to my left that says doctors are bad, big pharma's corrupt, right? What your doctor doesn't tell you, right? Well, I think it's pretty dangerous to take medical advice from somebody that doesn't have a medical degree, being honest. I also think that there's a lot of good that can come from having a collaborative team of people share with you their expertise. So what do I mean? I would love if all of us had a therapist and a dietitian or nutritionist and a massage therapist and, someone to take care of our gynecologic health. I think that it takes a whole team of people to really address our whole health. But I do strongly believe that the safest way, and I'm going to try to explain this better, the safest way for someone to tell you what you should do for your health or your wellness is for that person to understand what is illness, what is disease, what are you trying to accomplish, what are your own personal risk factors for disease, and how is your body going to handle the thing that I'm telling you to take, whether that's a pharmaceutical or a supplement or a vitamin or a shake. So you can tell I'm getting my Irish up about this. And I do, because all of us are worth far more than to have some beautiful person who has appointed themselves as a health expert to tell you how to live your life and what coffee you should drink and what cream you should put on your face and, what time you should wake up and go to bed and what? They don't know you. Now, neither does your PCP probably, because you're probably in and out of the office in 5 minutes. Do you see how I live on an island in the middle? Both sides are missing the point. They're missing the heart, which is individual personalized treatment that is expert. Meaning, when my new patients come in and they tell me, I've seen my PCP and I've gone to a GI doctor and I've gone to an endocrinologist and they keep telling me that my labs are normal and I'm exhausted and I have diarrhea or I bloat every time that I eat and my mood is changing, I believe them. I know that they've done it. I know that they've gone. I know that they wouldn't be sitting in front of me if they hadn't really done everything that was asked of them by the people that they saw. I'm going to give you another example. I also have patients come in who are on a laundry list of supplements, and they're taking everything that Dr. So-and-so on his podcast told them that they needed, or whatever the latest and greatest darling is that everybody needs to have for whole health. Bull. They don't know you. They don't know you, right? Do you need that? Is that what your body needs? Is it in general good for you? Yes. If I was doing a podcast and I could talk to everybody generally, I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to make sure I talk about things that probably won't kill you if you take them, if you shouldn't, right? I don't want to be responsible for that. But there's a really good reason why every one of them, whether it's a TikTok video or a podcast or a blog post, has that little fine print at the bottom that says, make sure this is okay with your doctor. Well, how many of you have a doctor that knows what the hell they're talking about? Really now, how many of you have a doctor that could say, oh yeah, that supplement does XYZ, but the effective dose is this, and the actual medicinal component of the herb is this, and that product you're taking, it's crap. Not very many. So part of my mission is to bring more physicians to the table to help them understand that you might have gone to a top-notch medical school. I know I did, and I didn't learn any of this in medical school. I had to go acquire this knowledge on my own, and I have to make a commitment to acquire it every single day, every patient I see, because that's my ethical and fiduciary obligation as a physician, which harkens back to what I said about why being a physician matters. Why do you need one? Because we've spent years and years and years, yes, studying illness. You are all correct when you say, yeah, but Western medicine is sick care. It is sick care because that's the way we're trained to recognize states of illness and wellness on kind of a spectrum and recognize what could kill you. You better not have that. How do I help you with that? Or what is the most likely thing and how can I help alleviate your suffering? As the insurance control got worse, sick care became much more predominant, and here we are on that side, on the Western medicine side of things. On the more holistic natural health thing. Do you really think that pasteurized milk is your biggest problem? Do you really think that everybody needs to take a particular supplement to be healthy, that any one thing is right for everybody? Because it's not. Neither is that pharmaceutical, by the way. There's this in the middle part where you, genetic, beautifully made you, have come on a journey through your life from preconception to today, where every exposure, every lesson learned, everything about you has come to bear upon your state of health or illness today. And for your physician to not understand you in that context, I think sells you short. And I think that shame on both sides. Shame on everyone who wants to just sell you something, right? Oh, you need pellets. Do you? Why is your body doing that? Every woman goes through menopause at some point, whether she has surgery and her ovaries are gone tomorrow, or she has premature ovarian failure and they're just pooped out today, or she goes through, ovarian senescence over the course of her life. And at one point, ding, magically, you haven't had your period in a year and now you're menopausal. What a fun journey. Does every woman who goes through menopause have the same experience? No, we don't. Some people are like, hey, I didn't have my period. I feel fantastic. No more of that crap. And then there are women that feel horrible and they cannot function and they're depressed and they hurt. And that is not right. That is not normal. But the answer is not pellet deficiency. The answer is, why is your body doing that? Partner with a smart cookie physician and get down to, why is my body doing this? All right, so one more key component is, how do you get to a doctor that does this? It's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. I spend 3 hours with every new patient. 3 hours. I know everything about them. They know a bunch of stuff about me. Because we're coming to the table as two smart people who are going to put our heads together in trust and commitment to their best. And I still hold myself to that firmly every day. Sometimes I have to say things they don't like. Sometimes I have to say, you know what, you were totally right. that that supplement that you read about that you wanted to try that I told you I don't think that's going to help you? It did. So guess what? It doesn't hurt you. You should take it. But what do the people do that can't afford a functional medicine doctor? There are times of my life when I couldn't have afforded to see myself. That's the truth. So I don't speak to you like, well, everybody should just spend the money and optimize their health and eat organic food and never let anything processed cross their lips. That's not reality for the vast majority of us, I would say. We do the best we can. We make the next right step and optimize our health one step at a time. So what can you do? Where do you look? What can you really do to improve your health if you cannot have a personal functional medicine physician consultant? I'm going to try my best to fill that void because I think podcasts, they're paid commercials. There's a lot of data that's there. There's a lot of scientific truth, right? It's not just bogus. It's just biased. And I don't know that there's a whole lot of difference some days, depending on what they're talking about. So what can you do? I'm going to start making some blog posts about how to recognize a safe supplement versus a not safe supplement. Personally, in our office, in the last couple of months, I would say, we're now up to 14 patients who were buying a particular supplement that I recommend by a particular manufacturer, the one I recommend, and they bought it off of Amazon. 14 in a row have had lab results that irrefutably prove that what's in that bottle is not what's supposed to be in that bottle. And when I've told them, hey, go buy this directly from the manufacturer, get back on it, let's wait 6 weeks, guess what? Their labs all normalized to the level that they were on before they bought the crap off of Amazon. So in trying to educate everyone, like, how do you know? You have to have some faith and you have to have some trust in the person you're talking to or the person that you're following. And they do a very good job of better than I do, of soliciting your trust because it's very well marketed. And I'm sitting here talking to you on the built-in app on my computer in my office with my 10-year-old coloring on the other side of the screen because I'm a mom and I'm self-employed and this is what we have. I come to you with honesty and maybe a little bit of being jaded and a whole lot of hope that there is more that we can do than just buy what is being marketed as health. If you asked me what is health, I think health is peace. I think it's harmony. I think it's balance. I think it's optimism. I think it's realism. So, no one is healthy who is living in discord. What if my home doesn't have discord, but yours does, and it's next door? Or what if I go to my office every day and I'm feeling centered and grounded and peaceful and hopeful, but I'm driving down a highway through a community that may be in discord and distress? Maybe it doesn't affect my family. Maybe it doesn't affect my home, my office. But if the community at large is in discord or suffering, that impacts everyone around. It's palpable. If you've ever walked in a room and felt like, ooh, something just happened in here, you know it did. You don't know what happened. You just know you can feel like either the pressure or the tension or the apprehension. Something just happened in this room. Now imagine that we're living in a country that's going through massive changes. And I don't care how you think about it. I don't care if you love it, you hate it, you're afraid of it. It doesn't matter to me. Not that I don't love you if you're feeling afraid. I do. I love you if you're feeling like this is a great idea because my love for you is unconditional. But I would offer to you that nobody that is standing near a fire doesn't feel the heat. Nobody that's living in a community of suffering doesn't feel the pressure or the discord or the upset. It's not good for us. If you are living in discord and you are eating organic food, really? What do you think's happening? You think you're digesting and absorbing that? If you are taking all the right supplements and you don't go to a doctor because they're in the pocket of big pharma, all right. But are you really healthy? If you have that kind of fear or skepticism or frank aggression in some cases, I would offer that you're not. So the first step that you can take for your health in the absence of a functional medicine physician is to really take a really good inventory of yourself. Are you happy? Do you feed your joy? Do you laugh? Do you have a social network? Do you have unfinished business that you need to address and put to bed in any of the relationships in your life? We call them the modifiable lifestyle factors in functional medicine, and they're supposed to be the heart of what we do, not a supplement, not, red light therapy, not pellets, not a Myers cocktail. No, modifiable lifestyle factors, my relationships, my sleep, my diet, the things that I can come to bear on as much as I can. Can I have full peace if my community's in discord? No. So maybe I should pour into the community and decrease the discord. Maybe I can't afford completely organic food, and maybe I can't even afford fresh produce very often in my family. But can I make the better choice? Yes. Can I move my body? Can I spend more time in nature? Whatever you can do, do it. Whatever you can do it.